The Bible study for today is Matthew 14, chapter 14, verse 14 to it's 14 to 23. So we're gonna need 9 people today. So you can click the raise hand button if you want to read. So Efrata and Noah.
And Jesus went forth and saw the great multitude, and was moved with compassion towards them, and he healed their sick.
Thank you, Frata. Number 15.
Saron and Safana.
And when it was evening, his disciples came to him, saying, "This is a desert place, and the time it has now passed. Send the multitude away, that they may go into the villages and buy themselves victuals."
Thank you, Saron.
Okay, and it's Ion.
ኢየሱስም እናንተ የሚበሉትን ስጧቸው እንጂ ሊሄዱ እየፈለጉም አላቸው።
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello.
እነርሱም ከአምስት እንጀራ ከሁለት ዓሣ በቀር በዚህ የለንም አሉት።
ተመስገን።
እርሱም እነዚያን ወደዚህ አምጡልኝ አላቸው።
ተመስገን።
Bazin.
And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and brake and gave the loaves to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude.
Thank you, Bazin. Thank you, Nathan. Sorry, I'm sick.
And they did all eat and were filled, and they took up the fragments that remained 12 baskets full.
Thank you.
Salina.
And they did all eat and were filled, and they took up of the fragments that remained 12 baskets full.
Thank you, Salina. Radiate.
And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, beside women and children.
Thank you, Radiate. Abigail.
And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him onto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away.
Thank you. Eden?
ሕዝቡንም አሰናብቶ ይጸልይ ዘንድ ብቻውን ወደ ተራራ ወጣ። በመሸም ጊዜ ብቻውን በዚያ ነበረ።
Jesus was one of the most famous people in all of Israel. One day, as he was teaching, thousands of people came to listen, hanging on his every word. He spoke and taught in a way that people could understand. There were people from all social classes. Some were Jews, others were Gentiles. Yet each of them found significance in the wisdom with which he taught. Jesus had a lot to say, and later during the day, the crowds became hungry. Jesus, the people are hungry, his disciples came and told him. You must send the people away to find a place to stay and find something to eat. Jesus looked at the thousands of people. It was a huge crowd. There were 5,000 men, plus women and children. Then Jesus gave a strange order to his disciples. You give them something to eat, he commanded them. The disciples were confused. We don't have any food. And even if we spent all the money we had on food, there still would not be enough. Then Jesus asked them, what food do you have? One of his disciples, Andrew, came up to Jesus with a young boy. This boy has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. But that is not enough for all these people. Have the people sit down, Jesus instructed. The disciples went to work arranging the people into an orderly seating pattern. The young boy watched as Jesus held up his food and thanked God for it. Suddenly, a miraculous sign occurred. After giving thanks, Jesus started handing out the food. The more he handed out, the more food there was. God was multiplying the 5 barley loaves and 2 fishes to be enough to feed 5,000 people. The crowds were amazed. Once again, Jesus' disciples witnessed firsthand the power of the Son of God. Jesus was constantly illustrating and teaching them valuable lessons that would help strengthen their faith. With God, nothing was impossible. Not even turning 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread into a 5,000-piece lunch. As the disciples scooped up the leftovers, they filled 12 full baskets. This was an undeniable miracle. Who could have such power? Indeed, this Jesus was the Son of God. That day, thousands more people believed, repented, and put their trust in God.
How many people in total gathered to hear Jesus teach that day?
What you learned today?
Is that
13 people. What food did a young boy have with Jesus? People. It's 2 fish and 5 barley loaves. Where was the place that Jesus and his disciples fed the 5,000 people? On a hill near Lake Galilee. Why did Jesus ask Philip, where shall we buy bread to feed the people? because he needed the bread to feed the people. 18 people got it correct. Aiden is the first place.
The lead.
In the lead. Sorry. What did Jesus do when he held the loaves of bread? He blessed it. After people had eaten, how many baskets of food were left over? Six, 16 people got it correct. The answer is 12. Which feast was about to begin? The Feast of Unleavened Bread. 12-12. In which region did this event take place? Where did Jesus go after he fed his crowd? He went up a mountain and prayed by himself. Jesus took blank clothes and 5 fishes to feed the 5,000. 2, 4, or 3?
Not 8 fish. 3 and 1.
And true or false? Jesus used 2 loaves and 5 fishes to feed the 4,000. False. Okay, the podium. Again. Third place is Addis. Second place is Bazin. And first place is Aiden.